Hello again. I know it's been a kind of a long hiatus, about a couple months, but essentially work kind of just spun up, so I haven't had time to do these, and my workstation kind of got broke. So I finally have a new computer. I'm able to edit this, and I finally have all the interfaces that I can do so that I can do this properly. So this is long overdue. I've been wanting to do this review for a little bit just because of the fact that I've been looking for something that's a little bit more portable that I can take around with me and have very, very little setup. So wireless microphone came up, and as you guys know, I've done a microphone before through the FiFine company, and they had a wireless option, so I decided to try it out. The reason why this was also really, really important was because me and my friends have been trying to set up the podcast to come up a lot more often, and sometimes setting up that entire setup, it's great. Like, the audio comes out really good. We figured out the video stuff, so it works really well. But there's some times that we don't have time to set it all up, and sometimes we want to do it in a little more ad hoc, not in my apartment or someone's apartment. We'd like to do it in a cafe or something where it's a little bit more mobile. So this was a great option to try for that. So just like my other review, this whole review will be recorded on this microphone to really test out how it sounds, how it feels, and I'll get into the performance into it a little bit later. But for now, let's get really in deep on what this microphone has to offer. The FiFine wireless USB microphone is a very convenient package that is lightweight. It is about the size of a standard karaoke microphone, around 10 inches, and it is a cardioid design, designed for both vocals and also voiceovers. The quality materials is pretty solid. It is mostly plastic, but it does have a metal head, and that head is replaceable if you ever need to use it for cleaning or to break it down for travel. Behind the steel mesh head is a pretty standard design cardioid that is good for podcasting or speaking directly into it. So for singers and people who are using this for video production, it's good if it's right in front of you. If you're facilitating a conversation, you might need multiple. The microphone does have an LCD to show you the channel, so if you're using multiple of these, you can put them on different channels and use them simultaneously. But it also acts as a battery indicator and will flash if you are on low battery. In terms of power, it uses 2 AA batteries to drive the device. Here's where I kind of wish they did have a rechargeable lithium-ion battery built in, but it does give me flexibility because I can use any rechargeable batteries that I've purchased in the past. The USB interface that is included is a small pocketable dongle that you can carry around easily in a backpack, and it is pretty plug and play. Regardless of if you're using a Mac or PC, it should be relatively easy to get this working on your computer. And for those who are karaokeers that use mobile apps for collaborative karaokeing, this does not work for that. I did test this solely because my mom is huge into those things. A really good thing about this interface is, despite its size, it does come with a headphone monitoring system, so you can plug in a 3.5mm headphone jack and monitor what you're listening to real time. Overall, the package is very easy to use, and I think the battery is pretty solid because it hasn't died on me yet. But the big thing about this microphone is that distance from the adapter matters, because the further you are away, the more you'll see some variations in volume as well as signal and audio degradation. So if you're close to the source, it's going to be pretty solid. It's about what you'll hear as you're hearing during this recording. But if you're further away, like on a stage, like 45 plus feet, I think you're going to see some drops in quality that you may not appreciate. I think 20 and below, you're good. But in that 15 foot to 30 range, that's when I think you're going to start seeing the changes in audio and reliability. So in terms of the quality and sound of this, I think you've heard that sometimes I get away from the microphone and the audio gets a little bit iffy. So it's really meant to be spoken straight into. That's how you'll get the best performance out of this microphone. The other thing I'll notice is that you will notice some dips in quality depending on how the position of the mic is or how it's held. And that's, again, not, sometimes it's distance, but sometimes it's just the orientation. So there are some irregularities in terms of the signal, which is not something I like. But again, for the most part, it seems to be giving a pretty decent sound. It's not the most full sound. There are times that it sometimes sounds robotic, sometimes it does sound empty, but it is quite clear, especially for a wireless microphone at this price range. So it holds a weird place in my thoughts because it's really, really easy to set up. There's really no hassle involved, and it gives you a pretty decent quality of sound. I mean, especially if I was using something like a tripod, or not tripod, a mic stand where I wasn't kind of swinging this around, the audio probably would not sway as much, and it'd probably be a lot more consistent as you heard throughout the B-roll footage. But again, holding it in hand, so if you're karaokeing or something, you might get some irregularities in performance, so that's something that's not great. However, if I'm keeping this for podcast reasons and I'm keeping it for a mobile setup, I think this would be a really, really good option. I'm personally going to try this out a lot more, and we are going to shoot a podcast on it to get a little bit more understanding how this runs over a longer span of time. So keep that in mind and keep tuned, because I will be reviewing this more in depth and put it through its paces a little bit more. But for now, I can give it a maybe. I can't recommend it. I can't not recommend it. I'm very in the middle right now, and I don't know what to feel. So I'm sorry that that's not the most conclusive thought on this, but it's all I got for you right now. And I'm sure you've noticed that this is sort of a little bit more rushed review, and it is extremely short in comparison to some of my other in-depth reviews. And that's because, where's this? Oh, right here. I'm about to leave in terms of a trip to Singapore. So my flight's in about an hour, and I'm trying to load this all up so I can edit on the plane. So hopefully I'll actually bring this on the trip with me and see if there are places I can record. And we'll see if we can get more out of this, and I can give you guys a better thought over a few more weeks. In terms of my schedule, it is going to be crazy until the new year, but I will try to get as much done, especially because I have this 25-hour flight in front of me. So I'll be editing nonstop on these flights and really try to get as much footage as I'm in Singapore and Thailand while I'm there. So I appreciate you guys continually subscribing, continually providing feedback, and continually watching, even though I was out for a while. I really, really appreciate it, and it's still fun to respond to all your comments, so please do leave a comment below. And as always, please like, subscribe, comment, do everything that you usually do to a video that you like and love, and I'll see you later. See, I've been so out of it. My outro's totally out. It's totally out. I don't even know what to do. But I really don't have time to reshoot, so sorry.